Graduation season is just around the corner, and if you need to celebrate someone, I got an idea for you. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today I'm gonna make a fun graduation card, but it really could be for anything you're celebrating. I just have that season on my mind, so we're doing lots of little fun techniques, but in the end, it's a very clean and simple project. Stick around. That card is coming up next. So I have a whole slew of things to use today. I've got this cool stencil set with different sizes of arches. I've got a greeting die that says Yay You with a shadow layer. I've also got reverse Yay. These are kind of designed to work with that. And then I've got this slimline stencil, but I think any type of stencil like this would do. So got some ideas and a whole melange. So let's get started. This stencil set includes both the positives and the negatives. Now, I'm not going to use the negatives today. I am going to use one of these, and I think the size, and let me see here, because I have an idea for this panel. I think it could be cute, but I want to make sure that I can somehow fit, and maybe I'll just do it in an odd orientation. I want to be able to stencil completely over this little innard. So, you know what? I just changed my mind. I'm going to go down one size. Because if I go down one, then, let's see, would that work? I'm still going to have to do it at an angle, but I want to make sure that my greeting is going to be just a little bigger than that center. Does that make sense? In that regard, oh boy, I'm changing my mind again. It happens sometimes. What about this? Bear with me. Okay, so you have a little, oh, you know what? See, here's the thing. When I have a greeting that's a certain size, I love for it to bust out, and then, check that out, my stencil pattern will work in here really well. And really, any stencil you have can work, but let's go with the small one because I think I'm going to dry emboss as well. Let's tape this into place, okay? Just like this. We're going to do a top and a bottom with some pixie tape. And like that. And then I'm going to position this. Are there little, well, I don't really think there are marks here. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's use our mat here to help us. That looks a little straight. And then that looks a little straight. And that's going to be fine because I think I'm going to dry emboss. I'll bring in my tonic mat that I've been using a lot. I also put down a little grip mat now just to hold it, because then it doesn't shift around weird when I'm working on it. This is what I'm not sure. What is the crop going to, oh, I like that. See how I'm kind of figuring out exactly where the stenciled goodness is going to be. Do I want to come up a little? I'm just trying to get it equal in all the areas. And then I think I'm going to do that. Although, hi, my name is Cathy, and I'm an over-adheser. All right, let me grab some inks and some blender brushes. I'm going to work with just 3 colors. I'm starting in with that middle color, sort of in our rainbow, and that's going to be the lemonade. So let me grab my yellow brush. I'm just going to wipe it off here real quickly. I don't wash my brushes very often. These brushes all stay with dye inks. So whether it's Simon Says Stamp or whether it's Distress, I don't use this brush set for anything other than dye inks. So let's just do this little layered mask. Or double layered, double rainbow? Yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be cool. So the top is all glowy and yellow. We bring in our celery. Come in here. And let's do a little overlap like this. It's going to be very pretty. And I could go back over too if I feel like I want to have more. But I'm making sure to pay attention to those edge areas. Seafoam at the bottom. Oh, that's pretty. I think I might have had a little more ink on there than I wanted, but that's okay because they're going to dry back beautifully. A little bit darker there at the bottom, like that. Then I'm going to blend over the transition line. Like that. Just get that blend going like that. Okay, that's coming up. That's going to stay taped in place. I think I will just gently wipe that around the edges. Wipe that little friend like that. Just because I don't necessarily want this ink to transfer to my plates, but I am going to dry emboss this. So bringing in my Spellbinders machine, and of course I've already taken the clear cutting plates out. Then we put our embossing mat down. We put, someone gave me a mnemonic for this, and now for the life of me, I can't, is it this way? Is that the way it goes? Because then you're gonna press, well, let's try it. If it shows up, it shows up. I can never remember this. I don't know why. The mnemonic that was very helpful, I can't remember it. Can someone let me know in the comments? I asked for this once in a video and you all gave me the best. Let's see, did it do it? It did. It did. So it's matte paper stencil. Let's do that again just for good measure. Matte paper stencil, MPS. What does that stand for? Matte, well, maybe just matte paper stencil. I'm going to do it one more time. We are dry embossing that beautiful shape. And you can do this with any like masking type of piece. See now how I have that in the back? So when I take this off, hopefully, that is all that did. Oh yes, look at that. I mean, it's a very subtle thing. In fact, I bet you can barely see it, but it's there and it pops this up and gives it just a touch of dimension. I probably should have cut this before because I think it's gonna push my, my embossing right out. Well, I guess I could, you know what? I could hand trim this. Let's do that. 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, so anyone who wants to know what the measurement is in here, we'll just go, I'm just gonna hold this in place and go like that. And that. A really centered piece. So let's try it. That way I have a general outline for cutting. Let's just get that right there and go. Okay. Yep, that cut it all out. And then I can say, we are here. And then we are here. A little over. And then we are here. So this is about, right? 3 1/4? Yeah, that's about it. That way, although I did, that's off. That's totally off. So here's what we got to do. We got to take a little bit more off here because that did not work at all. Okay, maybe next time, this is why I rely on my dies, but now I can't find the die that I'm using for this project. See, this is why, you can see it's off, right? I know it's subtle, right? This is why I use the dies that I use, because they are going to give me a better result. Now what's going to have to happen is I am going to trim this down a little bit more once I figure it out, but I've got to do the yay you. I did want to show this for anyone who's new to card making and you get your die and it's like, wait, they're all clipped together. What am I supposed to do? Little wire snips, or these are from these are from Beadalon. You kind of got to squeeze in there and you just break it. You break that little piece that holds together, and then you can pop out your die. Once I get it out, you can just twist, but then oftentimes I just get in close and twist to get those little nubby points off, just so I don't, you know, hurt myself. That one just went flying across the craft/dining room. So if I ever hear someone scream and say, "What the bleep?" I know they have me to thank. Got a whole bunch of layers here now. I've cut out a little silver. I've cut out 2 stacks here, and I've also cut out 2 more here and a vellum shadow layer. So we're going to do some magical gluing. I'm going to go ahead and use my Elmer's glue, spray these in the little box that I keep off camera, and we will proceed with gluing everything together. Just so you know, I keep a separate pair of tweezers when I'm using spray glue because, you know, it's, oh, look how sticky it is. It's mucky, and I don't want to use these on things that should not get mucky. So that's why I keep two, because I don't want to get lots of mucky on the pretty shiny layer. So I try to touch that as little as possible. But now I have this beautiful stacked silver layer. Then we're going to glue this little friend onto here. And I'll go ahead and stack these up as well. This is a little trick I learned from comments left on my YouTube channel, which is so cool. I'm going to glue these together so that these can go underneath the vellum to have a perfect little bit of lift underneath that vellum, and it doesn't use foam squares. I'll glue those and we'll get it all together. So for this part, I will use liquid glue on the vellum layer. And I'm just going to take my little Connect glue bits here. Oh, just spit that on. Oh, now I've got glue everywhere. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. There we go. Come on now. There we go. Little tiny dots. And even if some of this oozes out, it's fine. It dries clear. But this is to hold the greeting onto the vellum shadow layer. Position. Let's get this lined up properly. More or less like that, right? Press that down. Do I have a brick here somewhere? Somewhere I do. Okay, so that is going to sit there for a second. Then, I'm not going to make this mistake. Tried it once and I completely messed it up. But we are going to put this glue on the front. Okay, makes sense, right? Because this is going to glue up behind to give us a little bit of dimension underneath the vellum. I'm going to flip this like that, and I'm going to line it up like that. How's that look? That way I can see, but also I can wiggle it into place so that it's perfectly lined up. Don't worry about any glue in there, although you could always just go like that, just kind of wipe it up. Okay, press that, flip it over, and press. And now I have a yay-you that when I pop this onto this panel, it is going to have that float. Oh my gosh. That is just so cool. I love the float. Okay, let me make a card base and see how off I am on here, because I think I'm going to have to trim a little, but I think I'm going to do a green note card for this because the green's kind of getting covered up. So let me grab that. That'll kind of fill in that mid-tone. Got a piece of green apple cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. This piece is cut to 11 by 4 1/4, so this is half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And we are going to score this at 5.5 so that we have our note card. When this folds down, it will be a standard US A2 size. But now let's figure out maybe where we are off a little, because I know I'm going to be a little off on this. Well, it's not actually. Wow. That's not bad. I think I'm going to take just the littlest amount. This is where you want to be real careful, right? I'm doing a sliver. See that? Sliver. Look at me hand trimming. How does that look? I still think we need to take a little more off. Okay, again, I messed up. But I'm covering my bases. Did I get that a nice clean cut? I did. Now that better? Maybe just a hair tad more. Great. Now we are good to go. I'm going to use this foam tape from Thermoweb because it has a slightly less dimension. It's not quite as thick as my 3M tape. So I'm going to go, oh look, you can still see the little pop up there, or the little indent, the deboss, but we're just going to pick that up a little bit. It's not as strong as I thought it would be. Like I thought it would look a lot stronger, but the fact that I know it's there, well, that's really all that matters. Okay. And you know, maybe the recipient will be like, ooh, what's that? Why is that? And I don't think that dip down is so much that, no, that'll be very nice. Okay. Let's take this off. Probably should have taped my card base closed, but I think we're going to wing it. However, sometimes, and I almost never do this, I'm going to just put a little strip, maybe just a little, just so I have a tiny bit of wiggle room. If you're ever not, oh, that was way too much. If you're ever not comfortable laying down your panels because you don't line them up very well, I'm going to try to do this just looking at the camera and not standing up. You can always put a little liquid down. But now we can just look at that. Pretty good. Right like that, right? Yeah, that's going to be fine. Okay, now before I add my greeting, I need to decide if I am going to add one of these sub greetings because they're really fun. There's so much in here that I could use, and yay you, you've earned this. So proud, you did it. I actually think you did it popped right there would be good. I usually use my sentiment labels, but because we've used our trimmer today, let's see what happens. Let's see if I can figure this out. We're gonna come in and we're gonna go right about there. I bet that's good, right? Line it up. Yep, cut. Yep, I think I actually did that pretty good. And that seems a little, I don't know. Should we do it? Should we just roll the dice and make it go? Hey, that's pretty good. Okay. The other great thing about these strips, whether you use sentiment labels or whether you cut them apart with a trimmer, you just pop them back in a little pocket, right? And then you have them for the next card, including, I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet, but I think I'm going to do, I'll just cut them both. So here, go like that, go like that. I wonder if you can hear my neighbor's power tools. Literally, they are doing something over there with a lot of loud tools. And I never know. It's this time of year. I don't know if my mic's going to pick it up, but it cracks me up because I'm like, please, guys, please. Okay, so which one do we think we like here? Do we like, yay, you did it, or you made it happen? No, I don't like you made it happen. Spatially, you gotta go with what you know. I'm gonna grab my Copic T10 marker so that I can do what I like to do, which is color the sides so it looks like it's printed on black, because these sentiment strips are printed on white cardstock. The reason you see the type is that's called a reverse, which just means there's literally no ink there and the white is reversed out. I'm going to use a thin foam square. Cut one in half. Come on, stay on the backer though. I don't like it when the backers come off because I like to be able to play a little. We'll put one there and one there so that when we get this positioned, it's going to be something like, I kind of want it to jut out too, you know, just a little bit. So that's the arrangement. Oh, I like it. I like it. This is where I bring in the tweezers that are not mucky, because these ones don't have anything on them that's going to get all over the card or the greeting or whatever, but I am going to use the little glue. Little dab and little dab. Just for, oh, can we get back in the, there we go. Sorry, getting a little carried away with myself. I will line this up right about there. I just want it to hang off a little bit. I want it to be right like that. Okay, how does that look? Perfectly straight. You know it. Same thing. We are going to put little dabs of glue on the shadow. And then we'll come here. We'll position so that the letters are about the same. And we'll place that down. And if I wanted to, you know, I could bring in this friend. Oh, I just pushed it all the way down. That did not work. That's why we like the liquid glue. What I wanted to do was pop this on top to see if that was straight. Yeah, that looks good. All right, and press. Oh, it's so fun. I mean, I think that's a really fun little graduation card, right? Of course, I think we could use a little shine, so let me grab some sequins. All right, I found my Studio Katia. The Majestic Confetti is perfect. Also, I've been asked about where did these come from. This is part of a big tray from Elizabeth Ward, and it just is you can store tons of sequins. I actually have 2 trays, but what's funny is I use so few sequins that I technically don't need that many, but you know how it is. We like to collect, and then we don't necessarily always use everything. Boop. I've just got the 5 sequins here. I thought a little cascade down and a little tuck here would be cute. Because you can actually kind of see it in there, right? Slide that in. I like it. 5 is a good number. And also it just cascades down, leads the eye across. But of course, everything has a direct connection to this center weighted design. And that is my finished card project. So lots of little things going on here, right? I mean, definitely maybe not the simplest card, but the end result, a very simple and minimal design. Thanks so much for watching today. You can find links to all the supplies I used for today's card project below in the YouTube description box. I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.